Hello students, how are you? I hope you all are fit and fine. So dear students, today in this video lesson we are going to revise poem Aunt Jennifer's Tiger written by Adrian Rich. It is actually Aunt Jennifer's Tigers written by Adrian Rich. So let's begin. First of all, introduction about the author. Adrian Rich was born in 1929 in Baltimore, Maryland, USA. She is famous for her involvement in contemporary women's movement, a strong resistance to racism and militarism echoes through her work. The poem Aunt Jennifer's Tigers addresses the constraints of married life a woman experiences. There is an element of forcible assertion of female existence. The poet has given a pathetic story of Aunt Jennifer, who has been dominated by uncle throughout her life. These ordeals have become the part and parcel of her life. The poet imagines that after her death, Aunt Jennifer would be laying lifeless in her frame, but her terrified hands will still be ringed with the usual chorus. She makes chivalric tigers in her panel. Her hands are moving about her wool, but the movement is not smooth. The weight of Mary's band sits heavily on her hand, and she feels tied down by that weight. When she is dead, her terrified hands will tell the whole story of her unhappy life. Summary of the complete poem. Aunt Jennifer has created a panel. Her tigers prance and jump across a screen. These tigers are like a bright color shining topaz of the forest. She has created all these things with her own hands. They are unafraid of men standing under the tree in the screen. They pace in sleek and chivalric certainty. Aunt Jennifer has created tigers on her wool. Her hands are moving here and there on it, but the movement of her fingers is vibrating and unsmooth. She finds it quite difficult to pull even the ivory needle. She had a heavy weight of the Mary's band of her husband over her hand. When she works with her hand, she feels tied down by that weight. When Aunt Jennifer is dead, her terrified hands will tell the whole story of her unhappy life. She has bitter experience of married life. The hardships and sufferings were the part and parcel of her married life. They had crushed her. These can be read by seeing her troubled hands. But the tigers which she had made in the panel will go on prancing, proud and unafraid. Thus, it is ironical that such a lady who has not yet freed herself from the bitter experiences of the past has created sleek and prancing tigers. So, this is all about the summary of the poem. Now, stanza voice discussion, stanza voice paraphrasing. Aunt Jennifer's tigers prance across a screen, bright topaz denizens of a world of green. They do not fear the men beneath the tree, they prance with sleek, chivalric certainty. Aunt Jennifer has created a screen of wool. She has created tigers on it. They jump over it. They are the dwellers of the green forest and look like bright yellow shining topaz. They are fearless and have no fear from the men standing under the tree. They jump with confidence like brave and well-groomed warriors. Second stanza. Aunt Jennifer's fingers fluttering through her wool find even the ivory needle hard to pull. The massive weight of Uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand. The fingers of Aunt Jennifer are moving over her wool in vibration. They find it difficult even to pull the ivory needle out of the wool. The heavy weight of her husband's band that bonded them together still lies heavy on her hands. When Aunt is dead, her terrified hands will die. When Aunt is dead, her terrified hands will lie. Still ringed with ordeals, she was mastered by the tigers in the panel that she made will go on prancing, proud and unafraid. Even when Aunt Jennifer is dead, her terrified hands will remain in the control of those difficult times which have suppressed her, which had suppressed her like a ring. But the tigers which she has made in her band will go on jumping ahead, both proud and unafraid. This is all about the explanation of the poem. So let's recall what we have read. Once again, we are going to discuss the complete poem. And Jennifer's Tiger, it is 27, not 17. Let me correct it. Seven. Okay. About the poetess Adrienne Rich. Adrienne Rich. Adrienne, it is Adrienne Rich, 1929 to 2012. She was born in 1929 and passed away in 2012. Was an American poetess. She was an American poetess. She was an American poetess, essayist and feminist. She was called one of the most widely read and influential poets of the second half of the 20th century. She was created with bringing of operation of women to the forefront of poetic discourse. Diving into the Reek is one of her notable works. She has received the National Book Award in 1974. National Book Award. She has received the National Book Award in 1974 and Bolligan Prize in 2003. Bolligan Prize in 2003 and Griffin Poetry Prize in 2010 and Griffin Poetry Prize Griffin Poetry Prize in 2010. Okay. She achieved National Book Award in 1974, Bolligan Prize in 2003 and Griffin Poetry Prize in 2010. Theme: told from the perspective of an anonymous speaker. Aunt Jennifer's Tigers describes a woman, Aunt Jennifer, who crafts vibrant tapestry panels depicting tiger to escape mentally from her unhappy marriage. Aunt Jennifer represented women all over the world who were caught under the oppressive hands of the patriarchal society. Hypnosis. Aunt Jennifer's tigers prance across a screen, bright topaz denizens of a world of green. They do not fear the men beneath the tree. They pace in sleek, chivalric certainty. Aunt Jennifer creates a needlepoint that shows tigers leaping across the canvas, bright and vibrant like topaz gems. The tigers live within the green world of the canvas. They are not afraid of the men standing underneath the tree. These men are also depicted in the image. The tigers walk with certainty, shining and courageous. Next stanza. Aunt Jennifer's fingers fluttering through her wool find even the ivory needle hard to pull. The massive weight of Uncle's wedding band sits heavily upon Aunt Jennifer's hand. Aunt Jennifer's fingers swiftly and delicately work the yarn, yet she finds it physically difficult to pull even a small needle made of ivory through the canvas. Her husband's wedding band feels used and weighs down heavily on her mind. When Aunt is dead, her terrified hands will lie still ringed with aureoles she was mastered by. The tigers in the panel that she made will go on prancing, proud and unafraid. When Aunt Jennifer dies one day, her frightened hands will still be marked by the difficulties that ruled over her while she was alive. Meanwhile, the tigers she created will always portray her desire for living a fearless life by jumping boldly and proudly across her needle point. Aunt Jennifer wants to put an end to patriarchy society. So we have gone through the complete explanation of the poem. Now let us discuss the poetic devices used in this poem. Okay, so let's discuss the poetic devices used in this poem. The first poetic device used. First one, alliteration. Alliteration, as you can see, fingers fluttering, repetition of consonant sound F. Chivalric certainty, repetition of C. Prancing proud, repetition of P. Imagery, bright topaz, denizens. Imagery, bright topaz, denizens. Imagery, bright topaz, denizens, which stands for the tiger in the poem. Next poetic device, metaphor or personification. Metaphor personification. In which line? Still ringed with aureoles, she was mastered by. Still ringed with aureoles. Still rings with aureoles, she was mastered by. She was mastered by, which refers the snatched freedom of Aunt Jennifer. She is surrounded by a lot of obstacles. Okay, so ringed with aureoles refers to those aureoles. Next one is symbolism. Symbolism. There is plenty of use of symbolism in this poem, like wedding band, which symbolizes an operation in an unhappy marriage. Ringed means encircled or trapped, losing individuality and freedom. Tigers symbolize untamed free spirit. Untamed free spirit. Then embroidery, it is a symbol of creative expression. The artwork expresses the aunt's suppressed desire and becomes her escape from the oppressive reality of her life. Aunt in the last stanza, as opposed to Aunt Jennifer, it shows that she has lost her identity completely, thus lost even her name. Okay, so it's all about the poem. We have discussed each and everything about this poem. In the next video lesson, we will discuss the questions which have been asked in previous years board examination. Type questions will be discussed in the next video lesson. So thank you for watching this video. See you tomorrow.